In this lecture, we are discussing the types of words. So in the previous lecture, we have discussed the simple words, and now we are discussing the complex words and compound words. So the complex words are formed by the combination of one free morpheme and other bond morpheme. So in one free morpheme, we can add one or more than one bond morpheme to make the complex words. So unlike the simple words, complex word consisting of a single morpheme and plus one or more than one bond morphemes. So that is called the complex words. And morphologically it is very rich and allow the expression of negation, intensity and abstractness. So when you make the complex word from the free morpheme by adding some bond morpheme or some affixes, so it gives the meaning of negation, it gives the meaning of intensity, and it gives the meaning of abstraction sometimes. So now we come to the key features of complex words. So first is the combination of morpheme. So in free words, there are two types of free morphemes. Like there are two types of morpheme. One is the free morpheme and the other are bond morpheme. So we have the more than one bond morpheme at same time. But sometimes there is only one bond morpheme. So we add one free morpheme and one bond morpheme. Like free plus bond. So the example like free morpheme like teach. So in teach we just add bond morpheme er to it become the teacher. So teacher is the complex words. And now we have some Urdu example also like aqalmand, kitab, kar. So in aqalmand, aqal is the free morpheme and the mand is the bond morpheme. So in this process we can create the complex word by adding any bond morpheme or more than one bond morpheme in the free morphemes. And we have another example like kitab kar. So in kitab kar, kitab is the free morpheme and kar is the bond morpheme or the suffix. So we can create the word kitab kar. And sometimes we can also create the word kalam kar with kalam plus kar. Now we come to the expressive function, means they have different types of function while we are creating the complex word by the combination of the free morphemes and bond morpheme. So the bond morpheme give the expression or the function of additional semantics or the stylistic meaning. So they add some semantic function or some stylistic meaning also sometimes. So in the affixes be in Urdu, ni in Urdu and Hindi, and an in Urdu and Hindi, you can create the function of negation. So like we have the word be iman. So be is the prefix which create the function of negation. So in this word, iman is the free morpheme and be is the bond morpheme or is the prefix. So you add the prefix be into the word iman, so it becomes the be iman. So that give the, so this particular prefix be give the meaning of negation. And now come to the another function is intensity. So there are some prefixes or there are some suffixes in Hindi Urdu, they give the meaning of intensity. They express the meaning of greatness, excess or intensity. So we have the prefix like the maha and ati. So like maha is the prefix which used in Urdu or Hindi like Mahaprabhu, and particularly Hindi Mahaprabhu, and ati sundar. So in this word Mahaprabhu, so Maha is the prefix, so which give the meaning of intensity, okay, with meaning of the greatness. And we have the Ati Sundar. So Ati Sundar, the Ati is the prefix, so which give the meaning of intensity or excess. So that is why some prefix in Urdu Hindi, or we can say some affixes in Urdu Hindi, give the meaning of intensity or the function of intensity in the complex words. And the complex words are very rich in the morphological terms. That means we can create lots of like the words through the in complex words. So like we can create lot of inflectional word, lot of derivational words by prefixation, by suffixation, by change in category like tense, aspect, mood. So they are very rich, morphologically very rich words. So the complex words are more intricate than simple words and can carry the meaning or the enhance the semantic value of that particular language, means precise and nuance the meaning, and it also create the stylistic value of that particular language in terms of literary and formal tone. So in the by the creation of the complex words, you can enhance the semantic value of that particular language, means we can create lots of words by this process. So it is very productive in nature. So complex words are highly productive in Urdu and Hindi and are frequently used in literature, journalism and formal discourse also. And now come to the formation of the complex words. So for formation of the complex word, we have already discussed, we just create the uh, complex word. So just we can take one free morpheme, and in one free morpheme we add affixes, or we can call it the bond morpheme also. So like in free morpheme, like any free morpheme, for example, we have the free morpheme like right. So we can add any types of suffix here like ing, like er, like en, or s also. Sometimes we can create the writes is also complex word, writing is also complex word, writer is also complex word, and the written is also complex word. So these words can be created by the adding some suffixes, or we can say the bond morphemes. So that is the formation of complex word. But it is not only that we can add only one morpheme, we can also add more than one bond morphemes. Like if we have the word right, so we can add er plus s, so it become the writers. So writers is the complex word in which we are adding the two bond morpheme or two suffixes. We can also create the formation of the complex word by the prefixes also. So if you have the word like happy, so in happy, you just add the un prefix. So it becomes unhappy. So we can like if we have it like word open, so you can create reopen. So by just prefix re. So that is the we are adding one prefix in the word open. It will be the complex word reopen. So now we have the different process of complex word, how we can create the complex word. So the first process prefixation. So in Urdu Hindi, we have the prefix like be, we have prefix like la, we have prefix like ni, we have prefix like an. So they often give the meaning of negation, absence or reversal of meaning. So that is the process to making or to for the formation of the complex words. So we have the word like be, which is the prefix. So you can add in many words, many free morpheme like beiman, okay, or benami. And there are another example of prefix is bad. So we can also add the bad prefix. So with the bad we can create like badnam. And we have also some another prefix like an, like anadhar. And there are another example of prefixation in Urdu Hindi like ni, like nirdhan. We have the prefix like la jawab. So these are the example of prefixation. So these prefixation we can create lots of complex words. So these prefixation attach to the base word and alter its meaning by introducing the idea of negation, lack or superiority. So these meaning or these prefixes give the meaning of negation, give the meaning of lackness, or they give the meaning of superiority in the word in which you are attaching these prefixes. So we have many example in the next slide. So the other complex word can create it by the suffixation process. So in suffixation process, in the simple word, like we have the word akal. So in akal, we just create or we just add the word means the suffix mand. So it becomes the akal mand. So that is the process of suffixation, because in the free morpheme we add suffix mand. So we have lots of suffixes in Urdu through which we can create the complex word like mand, like dar, like wala, like pan, like e. So they usually indicate the meaning of possession, profession, capability, and a abstract quality. So the word man, we can create the word like the akal man, and the by dar we can create the word zimmedar. So by the suffix wala we can create the word dukan wala, doodh wala. By the word pan we can create the word bachpan, ladakpan. So these are the suffixes, and by the word e we can create the word dosti, dushmani, ऊंचाई, nichai. So all these words are created by the e suffix. There is a pan suffix, we can create the bachpan, ladakpan, with the wala, we can create lots of words. So that is the process of is called suffixation. So suffixation thus help to create new words by extending the meaning of the root that give the meaning or the give and express the quality, express the meaning of qualities, relationship or professions. So here we have some example of complex word with the prefix. So here in this word, be is the prefix. Like this, be is the prefix. In this word, the la is the prefix. In this word, the be is the prefix. So we can create the word behis. We can create the word la tadad. We create the word besabab. So behis meaning give the meaning of feeling less. La tadad means countless, and besabab means without reason. So here be is the prefix and the la is the prefix, and here is the be is the prefix. So these are the another example of Urdu. So in Urdu or Hindi, the example, the prefixes be, la negate the meaning of the word. So like behis means without feeling, while the la tadad means countless. So they give the meaning of negation most of the time, like the prefix be and the prefix la in Urdu and Hindi. We have another prefix in Hindi, mostly, particularly Hindi, like the prefix ni. So we can create the word nirdosh, Nissang, Nisthur. So in Nirdosh, Ni is the prefix, in Nissang, Ni is the prefix, and in Nisthur, Ni is the prefix. So Nirdosh means innocent or blameless, Nissang means detached or indifferent, or Nisthur means cruel or harsh. So that is the prefix ni. So in the by the this prefix we can also create the meaning, or we can also create the word which give the meaning of negation. And we have another example of prefix in Hindi like an. So by the prefix an, we can create lots of words like anmol, anjan, unearth. So anmol means the mole is the free morpheme or the lexical word in which we are adding the prefix an, and it gives the meaning of priceless. So they give the meaning of negation or absence. In anjan, an is the prefix and jan is the root word. So in this situation, un give the meaning of absence or negation. In the word unearth, a is the un is the prefix and which give the meaning of negation in the word unearth means uh, like disaster. And another prefix in Hindi we have like ati. So with the word ati, they give the meaning of intensity and excess. So if you are adding the prefix ati in any word, so it give the meaning of negation. So here, not negation, give the meaning of intensity or excess. So we have the example of ati, ati vishal, ati shay, ati dukhi, ati priye. So here, ati vishal is the meaning which just intensify the meaning of the word vishal or give the excess in the meaning. So like ati vishal means huge, ati shay means extreme or excessive, ati dukhi means extremely sad, ati priya means very dear, very beloved. So ati give the meaning of intensity in this complex verse. So in Hindi, particularly in Hindi or in Hindi Urdu, the example of the prefix like ni, an, ati give the meaning of intensity or excess. So ati give the meaning of intensity and excess, and ni and an give the meaning of negation and absence. So thus the word like nirarthak means the without meaning, and the ati shaktishali means extremely strong. So there ati give the meaning of intensity or strongness or excess. Here nir give the meaning of intensity, give the meaning of negation. Now we have the complex word. So they are very productive in nature and they are morphologically rich, that we have already discussed. So productivity means we can create with the free morpheme lots of complex word by just adding some prefixes and some affixes in the free morphemes. So that is why they are very productive in nature. So like you have the prefixes like un, you have the prefixes like ni, you have the prefix like ati. So with these prefixes you can create lots of words. And in suffixes you have like mand, you have like wala, you have like e. So in this by these suffixes you can create number of words, number of complex words in Hindi Urdu. So that is why they are very productive in nature. And the other thing is morphologically richness that we have discussed. The complex words are very rich in morphology, means they you can create number of words by the process of affixation, means prefixation and suffixation. And the third uh, characteristics about the semantic clarity. So in the complex words, the free morpheme always the main semantic content and the central meaning of the word, while the bond morpheme modify or refine it. So in terms of semantics or in terms of meaning, in complex word, the main meaning comes from the free morpheme. For example, if you have the word like teacher, so in teacher, teach is the main morpheme and er is the suffix, or we can say the bond morpheme. So the main meaning in this word comes from the free morpheme teach. Or we have the example of Urdu Hindi like akal mand. So in this word, akal is the free morpheme, mand is the bond morpheme. So the main meaning comes from the word akal, and man give it some modification or some refinement to change some in grammatical category, or to give the meaning some of intensity, or give the meaning of some of excess. So that is all the intensive meaning, negative meaning, and the other modification in the meaning comes from the bond morphemes. But the main meaning, contained meaning comes from the free morpheme in the complex words. So this pattern maintains the semantic transparency, making it easy to interpret the meaning of new and unfamiliar words through their morphological components. So by this process, you can understand the meaning of complex word easily. So you just go to the free morpheme or the main root word in the complex word, so you can get the main meaning of that word. And any modification or any refinement or any grammatical change in aspect, mood, tense, number, gender, all these modification comes from the suffixes or prefixes, or the meaning of negation, intensity. All these modification comes from the affixes. So you can easily understand that meaning also. The main meaning comes from the free words, and the modification comes from the suffixes. Now come to the compound words. So compound words are different from the complex words. So in compound word, we can form the new word by just adding two free morphemes, or the two simple words, or the two root words. So like we have the word uh, black plus board. So it becomes blackboard. So blackboard is the compound word. So in this word, we have the two free morpheme. One is the black and the other is board. So that is the formation of the compound word. So as we all know that in simple words we have one free morpheme which give the meaning of one concept. So there is no modification, there is no suffixation, there is no prefixation in the simple words. But in complex word, we have one free morpheme, and in that free morpheme, we are adding suffixes, prefixes, one suffix, two suffix, three suffixes. So that is the complex word. And the in compound word, we are just adding two free morpheme together, and they give the meaning of means they create the new words, and they give the meaning of different meaning that does not exist in the previous two morphemes. For example, we have the word like white plus house. So it become White House. So White House is the house of the American president. So it has the totally different meaning from this word house and from this white. So it gives the new meaning. So it derives the new words, compounding also. So compound words are formed when two or more free morpheme combine to create new words with a distinct meaning. Sometimes bond morpheme like connectors are added. So in some process in Urdu-Hindi, we can edit some connectors like ilmu adab. So O is the connector in Hindi Urdu. Means in some time in Urdu, this kind of compound words come from the Persian origin. So unlike the simple word, which is the single morpheme, or the complex word, which is the combination of one free and the bond morpheme, one or plus bond morpheme. Compound words combine independent lexical unit or the two free morpheme, and they give the meaning of idiomatic, abstract, or specific meaning. So that is the key feature of compound words. So compound word, the combination of morpheme, we are combine the two free morpheme. But sometimes we uses like connectors O in Urdu, like we have given example of ilmu adab. Ilmu ilmu adab. So that is the also example of compound comes from the Persian origin where the O is the connector. But normally we have the two words together in compounding. And they are very semantically rich, means they express the complex ideas, abstract concept or idiomatic expressions. And they are also used in figurative meaning, means not fully predictable but individual components, means they are using in literature, we are using many compound words, many new compound words, creative compound words in the literature. And the structure we have already discussed in Urdu, sometimes we have the O izafat, and sometimes we have in Hindi we have just juxtaposition or the hyphenation. In between we have one hyphen for making the compound words. So there is an example in Urdu, the compound words are formed by joining two nouns, two adjectives to make a compound words, and they are sometimes linked by the O which function as the conjunction. So the connector O is appears between these two elements or compound that signal the combination or association between them. So here we have the example from Urdu with the O marker, means the O connector. We have the example like Tehzeebo Tamaddun. We have example of Ilmu Hikmat. We have the example of Adabo Tehzeeb. We have the example of Hazir Jawabi. So these are the compound words. So in Tehzeebo Tamaddun, we have O connector, but in Hazir Jawabi, we do not have the O connector. So it is also the compound words. In Urdu, in Hindi, we have the compound words are generally created or formed by the juxtaposing. Just juxtaposing means that is the placing two or more words directly next to each other without the connector. So in Hindi, in Urdu we generally have some connectors, but in Hindi we do not have the connector. So that's the feature is called juxtaposing. So in Hindi, the two nouns, two adjectives or verbs are placed together to form compound. So the meaning of compound is derived from the relationship between these components like such position, quality, purpose or coordination. So in Hindi, we have the compound words like Sahaj Buddhi, means quick written, and Vigyan Bhavan, science building. So these are the compound words in Hindi. So Sahaj is the one free morpheme and Buddhi is the another free morpheme. And we have Vigyan Bhavan. Vigyan is the one free morpheme and Bhavan is the another free morpheme. So it gives the new meaning. It derives the new meaning by the two free morphemes. So we just add two free morphemes to make one compound word. So like components, so if you analyze the compound words, so they have two components and they contribute the different meaning or they contribute the new meaning. So in each compound words we have the two components and both components have the different meaning. But when you add them into the one word, so it drive the new meaning. And they also give the meaning of idiomatic expression. Like when you say the tehzeebo tamaddun, so it gives the meaning like civilization, intellectual developments, and that cannot be directly referred from each component. So uh, in literature, if you use the word tehzeebo tamaddun, so tehzeeb means the meaning of like culture, and tamaddun is also used for the same thing. But when you use the two words together, tehzeeb tamaddun, so it gives the different meaning. Means like civilization or the intellectual development. Means both meaning can be understood by the context when it is used. Sometimes it gives the meaning of civilization and sometimes it gives the meaning of intellectual development. So here we can say that the compound words means we can create the different meaning by the two free morpheme. But the previously those free morpheme has the its own meaning, and when you create the new word in the compounding, so it gives the totally new meaning. So here we can conclude this compound words. So with this word types of words. So we have the simple words, complex word, and compound words. So in simple words we have only one free morpheme, and in complex word we have the one free morpheme and other bond morpheme. So we are adding one bond morpheme or more than one bond morpheme to create the complex word. But in compound verb we are adding just two free morpheme like hazir jawabi, and we have the example of English like blackboard, white house. So that is the difference between the simple word, complex word and compound word. So the simple word serve as a foundation of the vocabulary and the complex word expand the meaning of base morpheme through the addition of bond morpheme, enabling the nuanced and intensified or negative meaning. So if you are adding any prefixes or suffixes in the free morpheme, so it gives the different meaning. It modify the meanings in terms of negation, intensify, in terms of excessiveness, or they can also give the change the grammatical category like tense, aspect, and mood. But the compound word create the different meaning by the combination of two free morpheme. So it is give the meaning of a specific, idiomatic, or abstract concept. Thank you.